Rainbow Cup. I probably don't need to say 2021 because it, in all likelihood, will be the only time we see this tournament. The Rainbow Cup. Uh, Close fought games this morning. Connacht over Ulster and Edinburgh, I think it was, over, was it Zebre? Didn't watch either of those games. I ended up watching Bristol and Exeter. But hopefully tomorrow, at least my time, I should be able to see Leinster and Munster. I feel like these teams have played a lot. And it's been a similar story in the times that I have seen these guys play. It's been close. It's been a bit of a grind at times. It can be pretty attritional. But generally, I think every time I've watched them, Leinster has managed to eke out a result. Pro 14 final is the most recent one. Only a 10-point game, 16-6. But 10 points in that game felt like 30. It was just that kind of game where points were so hard to come by. So yeah, it was just it was a bit of a weird one. Now we're in the Rainbow Cup. Will we see things open up a little bit between the sides? I wouldn't have thought so, but looking at some of the selections, maybe, man. You never know. It's a one-off tournament, so the coaches can afford to maybe try something a little bit different with maybe less on the line. But anyway, maybe they're dying to get their hands on the Rainbow Cup because it's probably their only chance in their career to get that trophy in the trophy cabinet. You can probably keep it forever. I'll go through the lineups quickly. Interestingly, I couldn't find the bookies taking bets on this tournament over here, so I have been unable to look up the odds. I suppose I could have looked at another bookmaker, but I will go with one prediction I found on Rugby Forecast. And yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts on how this one is going to go. Leinster's lineup for mine is a less familiar lineup because generally when I watch Leinster, they're either playing Munster and they play their biggest team, or they're playing in the Champions Cup and they play their best team. But I feel like this is a team of guys. Most of them I know the names. Some of them I don't, actually. And, yeah, maybe some of these are the guys who play in the Pro 14 weeks against the likes of Zebre and whatnot that I probably don't see that maybe you Leinster fans and general Pro 14 fans are more familiar with. Ed Byrne, Dan Sheenan, and Andrew Porter's the front row. Obviously, the two props are very familiar. I'm not sure I've seen Dan Sheenan play. Apparently, he's 22 years old and has played a fair few times, so... I can't remember seeing him. Maybe I have. Ross Maloney and Ryan Baird is the second row. James Ryan, interestingly, is back on the bench, so that is a bit of good news. Josh Murphy, Scott Penny, and Caelan Doris. Scott Penny is another one. Apparently, he's like 21 years old and he's got 20 odd caps. But I'll be surprised if I could pick him out of a lineup. You know, but I mean. The name seems vaguely familiar. You guys will have to give me some insights into what kind of player he is. Hugh O'Sullivan and Harry Byrne are the 9-10 combo. I am very keen to see how Harry Byrne goes because, I mean, he's the third guy in the pecking order, right? It's Sexton, then it's Ross, and then it's Harry. But people say a lot of good things about Harry. So I'm keen to see him get a crack in a big game as well. This is a big game. Even if it's the Rainbow Cup and maybe people aren't taking it quite with the same level of intensity as maybe some of the other competitions, any Leinster Munster game is going to be a big game. O'Loughlin and Ringrose is the midfield. Ringrose back from injury and he's captain, so that's a bit of good news. James Lowe, Dave Carney, and Jordan Lama is a very familiar back three. Good to see Cronin on the bench. As I mentioned, James Ryan, Scott Fardy, Kieran Frawley's there, among others. For Munster, the lineup feels a wee bit more familiar, at least for me. Kilcoyne, Scannell, and Archer. Again, pretty familiar front row. John Klein and Tyke Byrne as a classy second row. Tyke Byrne is among my favourite Irish players at the moment. You'll probably see that if you watch my British and Irish Lions pick, which I'll be putting out in a day or two. Yeah, man, his performances in the Six Nations were just phenomenal at 6 or at 5. He is in the second row this week. Peter Amati's captain at 6, O'Donoghue is 7, and Stunder is 8. I will enjoy every minute of watching CJ Stunder in a Munster jersey before he leaves, so that's one plus about the Rainbow Cup, as you get to see more CJ. Murray and Carberry's 9-10, and as happy as I am to see Harry Byrne, I'm equally happy to see Joey Carberry because he was injured for such a long time and people told me he's been back for a while. I haven't seen much of him at all. So I'm very keen to see how he's going. Is he back to 100%? Is he still not quite where he was formerly? But either way, I'll be having a look. Dale Ender and Farrell is one of the biggest midfield units you will ever see. So, yeah, O'Loughlin and Ringrose defensively will have to be very much on form. And likewise, Harry Byrne, I can imagine them targeting him a wee bit. Daly, Earls, and Haley is a pretty good back three as well. Also keen to see Healy get some time from the bench. Likewise, Craig Casey and Gavin Coombs. Like, there's certainly some young talent in that Munster bench as well. So, yeah, it's the Rainbow Cup. Something a bit different. It seems the coaches can maybe rotate the guys around a wee bit. It will be interesting to see come the business end of the tournament whether we see the normal process of bringing back some of the big guns or what happens with that. I wonder if Warren Gatlin's going to watch any of the games because he was watching the Bristol and Exeter game this morning. There'll certainly be some guys he'll want to have a look at for sure. Like I mentioned, the bookies here aren't taking bets, but the Rugby Forecast algorithm's got Leinster by 9. Because their record over Munster in recent times is pretty good. But yeah, remember that algorithm's looking at home and away and whatnot. It's not necessarily looking at the players who have been selected. So at least for me, as a guy who doesn't watch enough Pro 14, that's a more to full strength Munster lineup than a Leinster lineup because I see a lot of big names absent from the Leinster lineup. But anyway, I'll let you guys let me know who I should be looking out for. And yeah, let's hope it's a good game, man. Leinster and Munster is always pretty intense. I look forward to it. Hopefully I can crawl out of bed tomorrow to watch it live. Not like I missed the first half of the Bristol and Exeter one this morning and had to rewatch it. But anyway, yeah, you guys have any thoughts? And I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.